Hey there, fellow city builders, Kodiak the Kodiak here, and I've got some thrilling news for all of you City Skylines fans out there. The developers of City Skylines 2 have just released their latest developer insight titled Transportation is Fun, and let me tell you, transportation is going to be fun because there is some game changers in here. In this action-packed video, we'll be exploring an exciting world of public transit and cargo transportation. But that's not all. The dev insights always leave us with extra information about future Diaries features, and this one is no exception as it introduces an out-of-this-world surprise. Prepare to embark on an interstellar journey as we discover the wonders of transportation in City Skylines 2. The developers have also introduced tech trees that have unlocks for every city service, offering endless possibilities and rewarding your progress as you master the art of efficient city planning. This developer insight has left me eager to create transportation networks that will wow our citizens and visitors alike. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss any future updates and city building tips. And of course, leave a comment down below and share your thoughts and ideas on the new transportation options in City Skylines 2. Alright, my fellow urban visionaries, it's time to fasten our seatbelts and explore the thrilling world of public and cargo transportation in City Skylines 2. Get ready to reach for the stars. Okay, before we get started, I just want to say thank you. To everyone who's watched all my videos recently, especially the dev insights, which have been doing great. My channel's been doing great. I got accepted into the YouTube partner program, which is yay, very exciting. So they've kind of been the highlight of my week every week. I've been really excited to make all these videos, and I'm glad that you all are enjoying them as well. So first off, thank you. Secondly, we are featuring a new city in this video, which is made by Toadies, which you can find their channel down below or in the annotations up over here. So we will now be featuring New Dollarton, which was made by $2.20, and then this new city, which is Recca something. I can't remember the name of it. We'll see it in the trailer. And the third thing is that this video and the insights in general have been just chock full of stuff. We actually get to see a full breakdown of the skill trees and how they work, which is very cool. I actually really like the modularness of it and some new transportation types that they haven't shown yet, but they're in the dev tree. So stick around for that at least, and let's just dive right in.
Public and cargo transportation are as important in City Skylines 2 as they were in City Skylines 1.
So the first thing, we're going to stop and just look at the UI because it's changed, because now we have entered the new city of Rectangaloo, which was made by Toadies. I don't know how much time Toadies had with the game compared to New Dollarton and $2.20's city. Some things to note. There's a lot more public transit being used in this city. Air travel has a lock next to it, so that's something we haven't really seen before, is the locked symbol for all these transport methods. Taxis are grayed out because there's 0 lines, but there's still tourists and citizens using them, so I don't really understand or know what that means. And we don't have any cargo transportation information. I don't know what that means either. I don't know if they just haven't drawn lines or whatever, but we do have that. And then in the bottom left here, it doesn't say megalopolis. It actually says large city. It has a big number 12 and then a number 7. And we'll learn later that this number 7 is the number of skill points that we have to be able to buy new transportation types, but we'll see that later. So let's dive back in. I still don't know what that symbol is. Here we can see, if we go back for a split second here, we can actually see what it's like when we click and drag these stop lines. We'll see this more detailed in a few minutes, but when you place them, they go, and then you pick new directions. And you don't have to stop at every bus stop, but you have to place those bus stops, and we'll see that here in a second. So they're placing the actual bus stop itself. We see a little bit more information about transportation now. It's all completely filled up, and that's kind of all we get on this screen. Over here, we're watching a taxi. The taxi information view isn't very detailed, so we can just keep moving on from there.
First, you create...
So pause right away. This is the bus depot, which I think we might have looked at before, but I'll still read the description again. Fuels, maintains, and stores buses. Each vehicle stops by the depot at certain intervals to stay in running order. Can be upgraded with extra garage and electric buses. So, as we'll see here,
create depots. Then
so they place it.
Set up the stations or the stops.
There we go. So they're placing the stops now because, as we know in City Skylines 2 from the last dev diary, you have to place stops and then draw the line to those stops. And you can actually set middle waypoints. So that way, if you don't want your bus to go through a certain intersection and you want them to bypass it, you can actually do that now, which is why you have to go through that extra step, which is actually really good. It's slightly annoying. I definitely think it's slightly annoying to have to be able to place two separate lines. Basically, you have to set the stops and then you have to click individually, which setting up bus routes to me was always kind of like an annoyance to begin with. So this is just another layer to that, but with the flexibility, I think it's definitely worth it.
And then you create the lines with the line tool.
Here we just have another view of the buses, but if you look at the buildings in this shot as we go through this one, I'm just more and more impressed with how the vanilla buildings look. They're definitely a steep improvement from Cities 1. There's also lights on in some of these buildings. Now, granted, it could be just getting night or whatever in the city, but to me, I do kind of wonder if the devs went a little crazy and maybe each one of these windows represents a household in the building, and when they light up, that means that household is home. Now, that's a huge speculation, but that would be really cool if that was the case.
All of the land-based public and cargo transportation types need depots to function. The depots send out the vehicles.
This bus just made like a wonky woo when it came out. But again, we see more of these public transit icons. I don't know if they're just a symbol for the buses or like all the public transit options or like what the actual purpose is of this symbol yet. I've still yet to figure that out because I'm pretty sure taxis have a completely different symbol over them. So, and I've seen this on a bunch of different stuff at this point. So I don't know what that symbol means yet.
They also have...
There's also some chirper notifications over here. James Fox says, the housing market stinks. Where do we complain? I'd like to live in this city, but there's no homes available. What gives? And you can see the housing demand is very high in this city. So chirper acting like chirper.
Upgrades that improve.
Okay. So I'm going to pause it right here. And I want you to notice that this building is snapping to the grid on any side of the building. So this is an upgrade. You have two different kinds of upgrades that I've noticed from this trailer. The first kind is an actual extension of the building. So I believe this is an actual extra bus garage so you can build more buses. This one over here is an actual building upgrade. So I believe this is how you upgrade the whole building to have electric buses, and then this is how you add more buses to the building. And so you have different types. So these ones upgrade the building itself. These actually add extensions. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And if you notice, it's completely modular. You can put it on any side of the building you choose. Right now it's snapped onto here, but as soon as I press play, it's going to move one more block over, and you're going to see it kind of snap to it.
Improve their functionality.
Just like that.
You can upgrade your bus depot to service electric buses.
So as we can see here now, this symbol now says electric buses. I don't know why it looked different before. I don't know if they recorded this shot beforehand, because when you click on it, it will change over to that other symbol. So that's my assumption here, but enables the depot to send out electric buses. This type of bus operates on a line, can be changed on each individual line's bus panel. So just like how you could select buses in City Skylines 1, you can select different kinds of buses in City Skylines 2. I really wish education was organized better here. It's annoying to have to travel outside for school. So people will go to school outside of your city. That's what I got from that. I don't know how in-depth that system is. I don't know if they just say that and they actually won't and they'll just stay uneducated, but very interesting still.
Increased capacity.
So now they've selected it, that changed the symbol, and now they have an electric bus depot. It doesn't change the building itself too much. I don't even know if it cosmetically changed the building, but it is not an actual addition. So there is different types of upgrades that you can do to your buildings.
For rail yards and...
Here is the taxi. This was the call center upgrade, so you can call basically from anywhere in the city. You don't have to go to a taxi stand or anything like that, and then the taxi will be sent out from here to you, which is nice. I need to pause on this so that way you can see it. And it's something that is a little worrying to me. This does say allows taxis to pick up passengers from all over the city, not to get stands, blah, 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 22,000. Upkeep, 12,000 a month. Notice how it says a month. And down here in the bottom right, it says how much money you're making per hour. I personally am a little annoyed that these numbers don't line up in their actual ratios, that one is per hour and one is per month. Obviously, we're making so much more in this city than we are per, like, what this costs per month, right? So in reality, it's not really that big of a deal, and maybe it won't ever be something we really notice. But for my own brain and my own management side of things, it would be really nice if these numbers were the same ratio. And maybe they are. Maybe it's some kind of bug. Maybe they're trying to decide, well, do we want to do hours or months? And maybe it'll change over time. I don't know. But I am just a little disappointed that this is per month and this is per hour, because it does make trying to do those quick calculations in your head, do I have enough money for this, a little bit harder.
And dispatch center for taxi depot.
So if you look down here in the bottom left, it says building upgraded plus 60 XP. And I did this on the previous slide as well. I just didn't pause for it. So that's how you level up your city, by leveling up your buildings. You just do random tasks and you get XP. City Skylines 2 is an RPG. It is an RPG. We're happy to announce our new factory at 111 Anchor Street. Welcome to the modern production. All right, very cool. So when they place that, you get a bunch of these upgrade stars. Very cool.
Also, many of the different transportation modes can be connected by you to the outside connections to create.
So they're going to go over the outside connections here. There is the harbor, and the harbor does have parking fees. So if buildings have parking lots built into them, it does appear, especially if they're public transit related, it does appear like you can charge for parking at them and adjust the parking rate. So I wasn't sure if you're going to be able to charge for parking at the individual buildings. Maybe we've seen this before. I just never noticed it. But you can adjust the individual parking cost at something like the harbor, which is pretty interesting. I didn't expect to be able to. I thought the parking in the building was just going to be its own thing, and then extra parking was where you're going to have to charge, or street parking. But very cool that you can set it building by building, and you can just toggle it on and off if you want to just make the parking free in the building as well.
Create the lines that you want.
And this is what the outside connections actually look like when you actually draw the line right here. It just kind of comes in and goes out. And then when you click on the line, it says Melcombe, which is another city. And it says a two-way ship connection point for creating passenger ship lines and cargo ship routes. So pretty simple, pretty basic, nothing really too
You can now
detailed
make
there.
your own intercity bus lines.
So this is how you create them. You grab the actual bus line tool. You click on any of the blue squares for the actual waypoints themselves. And then they click that, and there we go. Here's our bus, intercity bus route coming from city to city. So the intercity buses are included in the base game, which is very cool, along with trams and some other stuff that you'll see in the skill tree. One road connection point for creating bus lines, enabling taxi traffic and transport of goods and materials.
The trams
Now,
are
it's
included in
Poncia
the
City?
base game.
I didn't look at what the name was.
Cargo ships can carry a lot of cargo. They are slow, they
Great shot.
completely skip traffic jams.
Another great
but
shot.
Once they get to harbor and unload their cargo, they can cause a lot of traffic as the trucks pick up the cargo and transport it all over the city.
You are able to adjust the number of vehicles as well as the operating hours.
Plenty of free time. Hashtag happy life here in New Dollarton, and you can change the line color. I do hope that when you build new lines, it automatically changes the color. What is it? Auto line recolor tool mod or whatever it is essential. And I really hope that as long as you place a new line, they'll recolor it for you. I really hope that that's at least in the base game.
With the buses, you can create intricate lines that skip traffic jams and busy intersections. They no longer need to go directly from stop to stop.
Citizens care about
I just want to stop right here and look at these buildings. I think that there's a lot of really cool detail in these like fire escapes and on this building and the front porch of these row homes. I think this looks great. I mean, I'm just so impressed with the visuals of Cities 2, especially the new vanilla buildings. They definitely look like a severe upgrade from Cities 1.
cost. You can adjust the ticket price per line. If you make the cost too high, they might not ride your public transportation.
Buses and taxis are unlocked with milestone progression.
All right. we're gonna get into the skill tree now. So I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna make sure the chapter points right here in the video. This is very cool, and I didn't expect this much of a modular upgrade every single time we go to play. But this is very cool. Also, let's take a look at some of these homes before we get into that as well. It looks like we have some shotgun houses down here. We have some homes over here with solar panels on the roof. So I don't know how high level upgrade these homes are, but these look like really nice neighborhoods. And they look pretty realistic. So here's our progression. That's our XP that we have. We got 60 from just upgrading the taxi stand. So I don't know how much XP you get from what. I don't know if every growable gives you XP too. We don't know that yet, but I'm going to unpause now. Okay, here we go. This is our progression tree. So we have our milestones up here, achievements, and we're currently under the development tab. Look at all of these tabs on the left. We're going to be able to modularly upgrade every single one of these services, from waste management to water, and pick and choose which things we want in each tier as we're leveling up, okay? So first off, we've started on the police and administration tier. So we have the basic police and administration services. As far as I understand it, these ones come base. They come unlocked. You get these once you hit the milestone to unlock that upgrade path. You got that, right? We have the welfare office on one track that leads to City Hall and then to the central bank. And they cost, City Hall, for example, costs 4 of these 7 points down here in the bottom left, right? It does say basic police administration services provide the city with police station and patrol cars. So that's basic, it's unlocked. All the green is unlocked. So then we also have police headquarters, prison, and the Central Intelligence Bureau. So prisons have made it to the base game. I hope that the prisons actually work as a reform mechanic, just like they did in Cities 1, or maybe they're a little bit more in-depth than in Cities 1's prisons, which came out with the After Dark DLC. If you guys want to learn more about the DLCs, I do plan on dropping a DLC tier list, because there's a ton of sales on right now for DLCs. Steam Summer Sale, and I'm sure there will be a ton more sales of Cities 1 DLCs before Cities 2 drops. So if you guys are looking to pick up any before the new game and get them on sale, I'm going to be doing a tier list. So if you guys want to take a look at that sometime in the next week, please drop by the channel for that. Anyways, so Prison came out with After Dark DLC, and I hope it functions somewhat similarly. And then we have the Central Intelligence Bureau. No idea what any of these buildings do or are, but this is very cool. I like how modular this is. I'm actually a big fan of this system.
Another transportation type you can unlock.
And now they've clicked onto the basic transport services. So we have the bus here, train, tram, subway. So all of the rail stuff is in one path, a water, harbor. This leaves them a lot of room too for new DLCs when they want to add new things. It can just come into the upgrade tree, because there's clearly plenty of room and there's different branches off of those trees, right? So you can go from train to international airport straight away, or you can go to air first, build that kind of an airport, and then go to the international airport. And this was the one that I was very excited, the Space Center. I have no idea how that's going to work. We had the Space Shuttle asset come with, which DLC was that? High-Tech Buildings in Cities 1. High-Tech Buildings Content Creator Pack, which is, I think, one of the first 2 Content Creator Packs. So it's cool that it's put into the base game. I wonder what kind of utility it actually is going to have. I wonder if it's going to function the same as it does in Cities 1. I hope there's a little bit more in-depth stuff to it. Maybe a space elevator. Who knows? Who knows how crazy we're going to get with it. But very cool, very cool. We're going to space.
By using the development.
And if you hover over these, you'll see the harbor services provide the city with both passengers and cargo. So it just gives you a little brief explanation of what each thing is, and then they're going to unlock air. Click the unlock button, and then they've spent their coins, and now they have 3 here in the bottom left, and you can see that they can build the airport.
The new international airport is huge. It's the size of a small town. Oh!
That was great. You got all the words down?
Yes, but I was so sad.
The game also features
Look at all these little transit lines. I feel like I'm playing mini metro.
a line overview panel.
Ooh,
where
I
you
like
can
that. I like that shot where they panned up through that. That was nice. I gotta give them props for that one.
Inspect all your public and cargo lines. You can also access each line through the panel.
So down over here, transportation overview. We've looked at this in the last video,
The
but we'll watch them click on it again. And then this is the transportation overview. They're going to talk about it a little bit, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You have your name, length, stops, buses, passengers, usage, color, turn the toggle the line on or off, tell you what time of day you can use the line, turn the visibility on or off, go straight to it with the eyeglass, or destroy the line with the garbage tool. Really pretty self-explanatory, and you can sort by each one. Here we go. I'm in love with this town. Improve homes look. So I don't know. Our improved homes look. So I don't know if there's policies or something. I don't know if this is a hint towards something. So I want to keep this in the back of my head as we look at more dev diaries and dev insights in the future. What is this hinting towards? Is this just upgrades, like normal level up upgrades? Is there some kind of policy? This is a cool shot as well. We get one last shot of the line overview here as the video ends. So let me know what you guys thought of this one. I think the skill trees are pretty cool, and I am very excited for those. I'm also a little disappointed at the money ratios being kind of different. It's a pretty nitpicky thing, but I think it could become a minor annoyance if your budget's kind of tight in your city. Trying to figure out what things are eating away at it, if things are going to be labeled differently. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Again, I just want to thank you guys so much for all the support recently. It's been absolutely awesome. If you guys haven't joined my Discord yet, do that. We can talk in there if you want. Anyways, have a good one, guys. I'll see you next week. Peace.